Day 3, my walls still look awful. I am currently saving up, well, not saving up, I already bought it, but yeah, I'm going to glue some wallpaper on this, which you can see by the image is going to be nice and grayish, how I want it. And yes, made in Germany. You know it's good. This is one of the first times, pretty much since I got my new microphone and my headset, that I'm doing a commentary without the headset on. So I can't hear myself right now, which is really weird. So excuse me if my voice sounds completely different from what it usually does. I don't have any feedback. Anyways, hello you sexy beasts and welcome back to War Thunder. Today's a special little episode because, well, Gaijin has given me specifically a present. Okay, that's not quite true, but I'm going to claim it is. We are going to show some gameplay of the KV-2 of the seas, also known as the Dark Class MGB.
Yeah. X gon' give it to you. Fuck, wait for you to get it on your own. X gon' deliver to you. Knock, knock, open up the door, it's real. With the non-stop pop out the stainless steel. Go hard, getting busy with it. I got such a good heart that I make a motherfucker wonder if you get it. Damn right, can I do it again? Yeah, I am like so I got to win. Break bread with the enemy. No matter how many cats I break bread with, I'll break who you sending me. You motherfuckers never wanna know but your life saved. Bitch, that's on the life day, I'm getting down. Like a nigga said freeze. But won't be the one ending up on his knees, bitch, please. Cause the only thing you can't steal was came out to play. Stay out my way, motherfucker.
Oh my god, this boat is so awesome! So here's the thing, I've been awaiting the release of this boat for a while now. The devlog of this thing has been like made weeks or even months ago if I'm not mistaken, and holy crap, was it worth the wait. From the closed beta test run that we have at the moment, by the way, by the time this video is up, there should be another one going, so if you have access, do play the Dark Class MGB, it's freaking amazing! Play it! Okay, calming down, one thing at a time. From the stats, this thing does not seem all that great. It has a mediocre top speed, it's not the fastest boat to run definitely. Even when playing it itself, the acceleration is good, but it doesn't slow down very well. It's a big, ugly target. Honestly, this thing just looks like a brick house on water. And only has 2 guns. A single 40mm Bofors cannon in the back, and a single 114mm howitzer in the front. And yes, that is where the KV-2 part comes from. It's not quite 152mm cannon, but it does the job so damn well. Now, the 114mm howitzer does have a very slow muzzle velocity and also a pretty high firing arc, which can be a benefit and can be a negative. Given the high firing arc, you can fire over some cover and stuff like that, and even over friendly boats if they are between you and your target, since that's what everyone seems to be doing nowadays. But it's also quite hard to get your shot on target, especially if you are moving yourself sideways, especially since you do have to compensate for the movement of your own boat, for the movement of the enemy boat, and as such you have to put in massive lead. And given that the muzzle velocity is not the same as on the 40mm Bofors cannon, you kind of have to pause your shots with the 40mm between each reload of the 114mm. So, given that it only has 2 guns, it doesn't have any torpedo, and it only gets 2 depth charges, which honestly are, well, awful and useless, really. Let's just say you don't want to actually get up close to the enemy with this thing, you don't have that much crew, and you die very quickly. How exactly do you actually play this thing? Well, as you've seen probably from the montage and the clips that I've been showing so far, this thing is essentially what you could call the equivalent of a tank destroyer in War Thunder. No armor, not that much crew, very vulnerable, it's a big target, but if you employ that gun from cover, if you can make it so that the enemy doesn't shoot you, and if you can, for example, use cover to only have one enemy shooting you at one time, oh my god, this cannon is awesome! So here's the thing, many people complain about, well, the boats being kind of like AA on water, they take way too many shots, they seem to, like, they float forever, stuff like that. Now, of course I already debunked most of that. There's a specific video I did on well, explain to you how you actually kill a boat effectively, so go watch that. I'll leave a link in the info cards and in the description if I remember it. But essentially, the way to kill a boat is to destroy all 3 sections of the hull of one side. So if you can make the front section, the middle section, and the back section of the hull black in the kill cam or in the hit cam, that boat is going to sink. Now with the regular cannons you kind of have a problem. Either you use HE shells, which on the smaller cannons will not really do much, or you use AP shells, which will of course punch through the hull and strike the critical components, but will not do too much damage to the hull itself. The howitzer, however, only fires HE shells and has 30mm of penetration on the HE shell. Let's just say you can black out 2 sections of the hull with a single hit, depending on the boat. Essentially, I've had many situations where I even got one shot, since apparently hitting one of these shots perfectly on the torpedo whilst it's still loaded will result in an ammo rack pretty much all of the time. Depth charges can be exploded as well. You're always going to set fires with the HE shell. Even if you hit the top deck, you're always going to massively wreck the deck crew and make it unable for them to fire back at you. And overall, it's just so damn satisfying. I'm honestly in love with this boat, and yeah, I'm going to call it my own yacht. It has my name on it. Dark Class MGB. Dark Class. Okay, it's motor gun boat, but I'm going to say MikeGoesBoom boat. MikeGoes boat. It's going to be the MikeGoes boat. Now, of course, there are some things that you have to keep in mind when playing this thing. As I mentioned before, muzzle velocity is very low, so you have to kind of pause your shots with your bowforce in between the reloads to properly aim the 140mm howitzer. And here's the thing, if you miss a 140mm howitzer, you are at a massive disadvantage, given that you only have one bowforce cannon, which can be easily be taken down as well. And you also have to watch your ammo count. That's something very important. The 140mm cannon only gets... The big cannon, I forgot. The big cannon only gets 40 rounds. And those go by very, very quickly. The reload on this thing is actually quite fast, especially compared to tanks, for example. And the problem is, currently in this game meta, we don't have any spots where we can actually rearm. This is not like tanks where you can sit in a capture point to rearm your shells. The 40 shots that you spawn in with is all you get. Once you run out of those 40 shots, well, essentially you are in a worse boat than everything else. So why did I call this thing a tank destroyer before? Well, it's pretty obvious, isn't it? You don't have much armor, you have a massive gun, and you need to aim that gun well. It's kind of like a sniper. If you miss your shot, you're at a massive disadvantage. Only having one cannon, which, by the way, the bowforce cannon cannot fire directly in the front. It only can fire, well, to the sides and to the back. You're going to have a disadvantage when it comes to raw damage output if you don't hit those 114mm shells. But if you do, oh, if you do, you're going to have the most awesome time I've had out of all of these beta tests so far, honestly. Even hitting a torpedo isn't quite as satisfying as just wrecking a boat with 2 or 3 shots with this big gun. It honestly feels that good. And once you have the lead down, once you have the aim down, you are going to get massive games. I've had games where I got 7 kills in a single life. And honestly, I just didn't get more because I ran out of ammo. So guys, and if you're listening to this video, please don't nerf this boat. I love it. It's probably my personal favorite boat so far. Not only because of the name, of course I was always going to like the boat because of the name, but also because of the performance. It's really satisfying to play. I wouldn't say it's overpowered. Now keep in mind, it really isn't overpowered actually. It's actually very easy to take down. All you have to do is hit the gun on the front, and it cannot fire its 114mm anymore. Just disable the gun or disable the gun itself. And then it's going to be at a massive disadvantage, not having torpedoes, not having depth charges. Well, having depth charges, but they're useless, let's be honest here. And only having one single cannon in the back, which can't even fire to the front directly. And the boat itself is very weak as well. But the good player that knows what he's doing, knows how to use cover, knows how to hit those shells. Oh man. Oh man. So, this is it for this little video, really. Face cams. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry about the wall. I'm very procrastinating. By the way, this isn't going to be the only video. I'm also going to release another video of a special match I had in a special a Japanese premium tank, let's say. It's going to be rather interesting. So, Stay tuned for that. If you liked this video, do give it a like rating. If you disliked it, do dislike. If you're new around here and you like my face or my content in general, do check out the channel for more stuff. And if you like the channel, do subscribe. It's free. As always guys, my name is MikeGoesBoom and thank you for watching.
You can lift your head up to the sky, take a deeper breath and give it time. You can walk the path along the lines with your shattered frame of mind. Or instead you could always stay. We can wait right here and play until somehow you can find